According to the American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry, you should bring your child to the dentist no later than their first birthday. That's still surprising to many new parents because it's early. However, national studies have shown that cavities are increasing in preschool-aged children. More than 1 in 4 children in the United States has had at least one cavity by the age of 4. Many kids get cavities as early as age 2.
A lot of kids aren't really complaining a lot, but that doesn't mean they can chew really well. So maybe certain foods and certain things at the dinner table they don't want to eat. And it might not just be they don't want to eat it, it's just maybe their teeth hurt when they chew. So that's one thing. The other thing is, they could have an abscess under there. Again, the face might not be swollen, it may not really hurt, but that could be affecting the permanent tooth that's underneath it.
What should parents do to prepare their child for that first visit?
Well, maybe not say too much, because some parents maybe overdo it, and they kind of get the kid all worked up. So it's pretty good not to say too much, just to go into the dentist, have a good time, right up and down the chair. We try to make it a positive experience.
Dr. Richard Glover also recommends that parents practice at home with their child on how to open their mouths real good before they see the dentist for the first time. So how important is that first visit?
I'd say it's real important because there's a lot of things that parents don't really realize that's going on in there. I mean, it's not as simple as just the teeth are coming in and that's it. I mean, there could be decay in there. We have to look for that. There could be missing teeth. We look at the profiles of their face. Do they tongue thrust? Do they snore? How big are their tonsils? Things like that. There's a lot of issues.
Dr. Glover says it's important to be on top of everything right from the beginning. Parents can start preparing even before a baby's first tooth appears. He says just because they're infants, it doesn't mean you can't get them started.
Meal times and different things. They're having all that fun stuff slobbered in their mouth. So maybe it's a good time after that, not just to wash their hands and all that, but then take a little moist washcloth, rub it on their gums with your finger.
Dr. Glover had some advice for first-time parents when it came to foods and drinks.
Sugar is just bad news for teeth. It really is. You can't live on Twinkies. I mean, you have to kind of moderate, what kids do. You just have to limit it. I mean, not too much sugar, not too much sticky, gooey foods, because that's hard for the saliva to wash away. Juices you want to limit. I mean, anything the kid's going to bed with should just be water.
Many first-time parents put the baby to sleep with a bottle in his or her mouth, but Dr. Glover says...
No, I mean, it probably tastes a whole lot better, but there again, you're just forming a habit early on, and really it's just not a good thing.
The American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry says after the first visit, you should take your child back to the dentist pretty much every 6 months. You want to make sure it's a routine. You also want to make sure that they're brushing at least 2 minutes twice a day and flossing as well.
Generally, you really want to supervise for quite a while. I mean, just because they have a toothbrush in their hand or an electric toothbrush sounds like it's going off in the bathroom, maybe doesn't mean it's really getting used correctly.
What if they're not getting the job done? How do you know?
There's also disclosing solutions, that are on the market. I mean, you have to look at the labels. You have to read about it a little bit. Some are a little better than others. Some turn the teeth color blue. Some turn it red. We have one called two-tone. And it's pretty neat. The kids get a kick out of it because it colors their teeth either bluish purple or pinkish red, depending on the plaque on their teeth. So it's a real good visual for kids. I mean, I wouldn't do it before school, but after dinner, before bedtime, it's kind of a fun thing to do with the parents. You rinse a little bit and you spit it out and you see what color the teeth are. Now, hopefully they're white, but if they're not, well, that means you missed a little something.
There's one thing Dr. Glover says parents should also look out for.
There's a lot of kids are on medications and a lot of liquid medications, and some of those do have some sugar content in them, so it might not be a bad idea to brush after, they have that liquid medication. And then there's antibiotics. That's an issue too. A lot of parents will bring their kid in and they'll ask why there's all this discoloration.
Dr. Glover says cavities aren't the only thing parents should look out for.
Missing teeth is a bigger issue probably than a lot of people think. Some kids really don't get some of their teeth in, and they never will. They just don't form all of their permanent teeth. And we need to see that early, because if they don't form a permanent tooth, we need to know when that baby tooth comes out, one's not coming in. And if it doesn't come in, we don't want all that space to close. Snoring, that's a bigger issue than I think people actually think. Most people don't think too much about it. With adults, I guess they think it's an issue, but a lot of kids do. and we have to check their tonsils, and sometimes we have to get the ENTs involved because if you're not getting enough air, you're tired all the time. We see kids like that. They walk in, they're moping around all the time.
If you want to learn more about how to keep your child's teeth healthy, friend Parentology on Facebook. I've posted other advice from Dr. Glover on there.